Racing pigeons are truly remarkable creatures, possessing a suite of extraordinary physiological and behavioral adaptations that enable their impressive feats of long-distance navigation and endurance flight. While their specialized muscles, feathers, blood composition, and energy conservation strategies have been well documented, these birds possess several other unique traits that contribute to their remarkable abilities. Hello, bird enthusiasts! Are you passionate about racing pigeons and want to learn more about their care, natural feeding, and general tips? Look no further. I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel dedicated to racing pigeon enthusiasts like yourself. On my channel, we delve deep into the world of racing pigeons. From providing natural feeding techniques to sharing valuable tips for their overall well-being, we cover it all. You'll find a wealth of information to help you raise healthy, strong, and competitive racing pigeons. By subscribing to my channel, you'll gain access to a treasure trove of high-quality videos. Stay up to date with the latest uploads, where I share valuable insights, training methods, and effective strategies to enhance your pigeon's performance. You'll also find videos on grooming, health maintenance, and expert interviews to expand your knowledge further. Homing instinct and imprinting. One of the most intriguing aspects of racing pigeons is their strong homing instinct. They have a natural drive to return to their home loft, even from unfamiliar locations. This instinct is thought to be a combination of genetic predisposition and environmental imprinting. During the critical imprinting period in their early development, young pigeons form a strong attachment to their home loft and surrounding environment. They memorize visual, auditory, and olfactory cues associated with their home, creating a mental map that they can later refer to for navigation. Sleep patterns and energy conservation. Racing pigeons have evolved unique sleep patterns that allow them to conserve energy and maximize their flight performance during long-distance races. They are capable of entering a state of unihemispheric sleep, where one half of their brain remains awake and alert while the other half rests. This remarkable ability enables them to continue flying while still experiencing the restorative benefits of sleep. The awake half of the brain maintains control of flight and navigation, while the resting half replenishes energy stores and recovers from fatigue. Additionally, racing pigeons can engage in a behavior called dropping their wings, where they temporarily extend their wings and glide without flapping, taking advantage of air currents and reducing energy expenditure during long flights. Genetic selection and breeding. The exceptional physical and behavioral traits of modern racing pigeons are the result of centuries of selective breeding by enthusiasts and pigeon fanciers. Breeders carefully select and mate pigeons that exhibit desirable characteristics such as speed, endurance, navigational abilities, and homing instincts. This targeted breeding process has led to the development of specialized strains and bloodlines of racing pigeons, each with their own unique strengths and traits. Ongoing genetic research and selective breeding efforts continue to refine and optimize the performance of these remarkable athletes. Conclusion. Racing pigeons are truly remarkable creatures, possessing a suite of extraordinary physiological and behavioral adaptations that enable their impressive feats of long-distance navigation and endurance flight. From their exceptional vision and navigation abilities to their highly efficient respiratory and cardiovascular systems, these birds are finely tuned for athletic performance. Their strong homing instinct, unique sleep patterns, and centuries of selective breeding have shaped them into the elite athletes they are today. While much is known about the physiology and behavior of racing pigeons, ongoing research continues to unveil new insights and deepen our understanding of these fascinating creatures. As our knowledge expands, we can better appreciate the remarkable evolutionary journey that has produced such extraordinary athletes within the avian world. Pigeons have a specialized feather structure and arrangement that minimizes drag and turbulence during flight. Their feathers are composed of a central shaft with barbs that interlock together, forming a smooth, continuous surface. The feathers are arranged in an overlapping pattern, with the primary flight feathers, remiges, on the wings and the tail feathers, rectrices, playing crucial roles in generating lift and providing directional control during flight. Grooming and waterproofing. To maintain optimal aerodynamic performance, racing pigeons engage in regular preening behavior. This involves using their beaks to carefully align and rearrange their feathers, removing dirt, debris, and damaged feather segments. Additionally, racing pigeons produce a specialized oil from their uropygial gland, located at the base of their tail. This oil is spread over their feathers during preening, providing waterproofing and helping to maintain the feathers' flexibility and structural integrity. Molting and feather replacement. Like all birds, racing pigeons undergo an annual molting process during which they shed and replace their feathers. This process is carefully timed to occur during the off-season, ensuring that the birds maintain their full complement of flight feathers during the racing season. During the molting period, racing pigeons require increased nutrient intake, particularly proteins and minerals, to support the energy-intensive process of feather regeneration. Proper molting is crucial for maintaining optimal flight performance and aerodynamic efficiency. Blood and oxygen transport. The remarkable endurance and athleticism of racing pigeons are supported by specialized adaptations in their blood composition and oxygen transport mechanisms. Hemoglobin and red blood cells. Racing pigeons have a higher concentration of red blood cells, erythrocytes, and hemoglobin compared to non-flying birds. Hemoglobin is the iron-containing protein responsible for carrying oxygen in the bloodstream, and its increased levels in racing pigeons allow for more efficient oxygen transport to their hard-working muscles during flight. This adaptation is particularly crucial during periods of intense physical exertion when oxygen demand is at its highest. The elevated hemoglobin levels ensure that sufficient oxygen reaches the muscles, enabling sustained performance and delaying the onset of fatigue. Blood volume and viscosity. In addition to higher red blood cell and hemoglobin levels, racing pigeons also have a larger total blood volume relative to their body size compared to non-flying birds. This increased blood volume helps maintain adequate blood pressure and oxygen delivery during strenuous exercise when the cardiovascular system is under significant strain. However, the increased viscosity of their blood due to the higher concentration of red blood cells and hemoglobin can also pose challenges. To counteract this, racing pigeons have evolved mechanisms to reduce blood viscosity during flight. Conclusion. The specialized feather structure, grooming habits, molting process, and adaptations in blood composition and oxygen transport contribute to the exceptional flight performance and endurance of racing pigeons. These avian athletes are finely tuned for long-distance flights, with aerodynamic feathers, efficient oxygen transport, and well-maintained plumage. Understanding these adaptations enhances our appreciation for the remarkable abilities of racing pigeons in the world of avian racing. And facilitating a constant stream of oxygenated air to the body tissues during flight, the alternating compression and expansion of the air sacs caused by the physical movements of the wings and body create a continuous airflow through the lungs. This unidirectional airflow pattern ensures that the air capillaries and the lungs are constantly exposed to fresh oxygenated air, significantly enhancing respiratory efficiency compared to the tidal breathing pattern seen in mammals. Cardiovascular system. The cardiovascular system of racing pigeons is also highly adapted to support sustained high-intensity flight. These birds have proportionally larger hearts compared to non-flying birds, with the heart muscle comprising up to 1.2% of their total body weight. The heart of a racing pigeon is divided into 4 chambers, similar to mammals, but with a few key differences. The right ventricle, responsible for pumping deoxygenated blood to the lungs, is particularly well-developed and muscular, reflecting the increased demands of their high-performance respiratory system. Racing pigeons also have a higher density of capillaries in their flight muscles, facilitating efficient oxygen delivery and waste removal during strenuous exercise. Additionally, their blood has a higher concentration of red blood cells and hemoglobin compared to non-flying birds, enhancing oxygen carrying capacity and supporting their remarkable aerobic endurance. Muscle physiology and metabolism. The ability of racing pigeons to sustain powerful wing beats for hours on end is made possible by their specialized muscle physiology and metabolic adaptations. Flight muscles. Racing pigeons possess two primary groups of flight muscles, the pectoralis, breast, muscles, and the supracoracoideus muscles. These muscles are responsible for powering the downstroke and upstroke of the wings, respectively. The pectoralis muscles are particularly well developed and can comprise up to 25% of a racing pigeon's total body weight. These muscles are composed primarily of fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are capable of rapid contractions and generating bursts of power for takeoff and high-speed flight. Interestingly, the supracoracoideus muscles responsible for the upstroke of the wings are composed of a higher proportion of slow-twitch muscle fibers. These fibers are more fatigue-resistant and better suited for the sustained lower-intensity contractions required during prolonged flight. Fuel metabolism. Racing pigeons rely primarily on metabolizing fat as their primary fuel source during long-distance flights. Their bodies are capable of storing substantial amounts of fat, providing a dense and efficient source of energy for their high-endurance activities. Before embarking on a long journey, racing pigeons will intentionally overeat and accumulate fat reserves in their bodies. This excess fat is then gradually metabolized during flight, providing a steady supply of energy to power their muscles. In addition to fat, racing pigeons also utilize carbohydrates as a supplementary fuel source, particularly during periods of intense burst activity, such as takeoff and sprinting. Their bodies are capable of temporarily increasing carbohydrate metabolism to meet these higher energy demands before transitioning back to primarily burning fat for sustained flight. Feathers and aerodynamics. The sleek, streamlined appearance of racing pigeons is the result of carefully bred feather adaptations that enhance their aerodynamic efficiency and flight performance. Feather structure and arrangement in racing pigeons are optimized to reduce drag and turbulence, allowing for smoother and more efficient flight. The feathers are tightly packed and overlap each other, forming a continuous and streamlined surface. The wing feathers are long and narrow, providing greater lift and reducing air resistance. The tail feathers are also designed to minimize drag and provide stability during flight. These feather adaptations, combined with the bird's streamlined body shape, contribute to their exceptional flight capabilities. Conclusion. Racing pigeons exhibit a range of unique adaptations that enable them to excel as elite athletes in the world of avian racing. Their respiratory system, cardiovascular system, muscle physiology, metabolism, and feather adaptations all contribute to their remarkable endurance, navigation abilities, and flight performance. By understanding and appreciating these physiological and anatomical adaptations, we gain insight into the incredible capabilities of racing pigeons as they undertake their long-distance journeys.